Is that a friend? I like that. I like really... I do love the idea of moving in on a location and actually putting these people here to, keep it kind of hunkered down. So this has to be bonus then, over here. I thought this was the way to progress, but I was wrong. Unless... quicker progress. Actually, where... I mean, it does look like it leads into that. Almost. Hate it. Ammo recovers on evade. Rid of most of those. 30 is not going to be useful. Great energy cost. Never have a good, just 16% energy. I don't know if that's... Recovery speed's definitely the better option. Never mind, I don't know why I'm looking at that. Yeah, no, recovery speed's definitely the better option. I'm gonna get rid of that one. I don't think I need that one. 98 is kind of cool headshot damage-wise, but I'm probably not going to use it. Okay, so this was just the other end of this one. Nothing else, it was just a little chest. Can't believe Jessie's so lazy she won't just take the easy paths to get to little bonuses. See all that, like, down there? Think that's real or death? So far, it's real. I thought that was a dead body. Unacceptable. Oh, God. Thank you, controller. Unacceptable behavior memo. To all Foundation personnel, it has come to my attention that members of our exploration teams have been relieving themselves of their God-given liquids in the chasm on the Foundation. As per earlier orders, all personnel currently serving in the Foundation must expel fluids, urinate, do their business exclusively into the correctly colored and labeled vials provided by research personnel. To do otherwise disrupts the ongoing study of the Foundation and demonstrates a profound disrespect not only for the board and its oldest house, but also for the bureau you so proudly serve. If I discover firsthand any agents treating the Oblivion as their personal lavatory, they will be forced to go down there and personally clean up their mess. Signed, Director Broderick Northmore. Did you ever think that it was just... Oh! Fucking mimics! Okay, anyways, did you ever think that it was, called a laboratory, like a scientific laboratory? And, not, like, its own word, laboratory? Because I sure did, and most of the time, I still assume it until I see it spelt out, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is spelt differently, isn't it? Why this, like, super... low spot. Hopefully it's not a mimic. Energy renewal. That's the one that's like on headshots or kills or something, right? Well, I'm glad they gave me enough time to react to the mimic. There's a lot of junk over here. More fragments. Oh, you actually showed up.
Hey!
What are you doing down here, Emily?
What do you mean? You called me down, remember?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
No, that's right. You didn't. But then, I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work.
She takes everything in stride.
The board called me down here to deal with the situation. The Astral Plane is
Colliding with our world, I know. Isn't it fascinating?
It's not
I've
great.
never even considered that the Astral Plane could be a physical volume expanding beyond its dimensional container. The bleed is localized to this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire Bureau, and possibly beyond.
That's what I'm here to stop. The board told me to fix the nail over there by dismantling 4 locks in the Astral Plane.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Funny, I think it's put itself back together a bit.
So that could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every associated component you remove, this nail reconstructs. Or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the Bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this?
I put money on it. That reminds me, have you seen Marshall? She contacted me over the hotline, but then I saw her walking around.
I haven't seen her. The hotline only connects to extraplanar entities. Or dead people. But Marshall's proved time and time again that she's a survivor.
I kind of doubt it at this point.
That's exactly what I thought.
Anyway, I've been looking into the minerals growing down here. Have you noticed how they insist on maintaining a certain form? Maybe some sort of a state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape?
I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you can find out from the nail in the meantime. And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble.
Will do, Jesse. If you see anything interesting, remember to take detailed notes.
Yeah, I do that. Oh, new mission.
All the tests I run on the nail keep coming back.
I gotta talk to her to start this mission.
Jesse, you're back. So
I didn't leave.
Anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind.
Like their ID cards. I picked up a weird one.
A couple.
Old.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me.
Are you starting a collection?
I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Holographic.
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find, anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research. From what I gather, there is another floor beneath the warehouse with a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just
Did I find
access.
5?
Here, take this. It's an old skeleton key. Something else the Rangers found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me.
I'm gonna
Only
assume
5?
this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Look, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards around the warehouse.
I do think he actually did say that at some point, didn't he?
I'm sure they are. Then 5 is the magic number.
I'm gonna say yes because she wants... Oh! Well, she still wants to talk.
Rangers have tapped into an old radio network they found around the Foundation. So if you need backup, just call them at one of the stations.
Okay, so I can do that now.
How did the Hiss get into the Foundation?
Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption.
I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance.
If the Hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now. It must not interest them in its broken state. They could be distracted by the numerous unknown paranatural materials I'm sure are lying around. These are the roots of the oldest house. The Hiss will find plenty of ways to make trouble.
They're pretty good at that. So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh?
I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem with these kinds of closed-off hidden areas is that they were likely sealed for good reason. But now no one is left to tell us what that reason was.
Any guesses why the Bureau would hide something like this?
I only know what I've observed. This place is spatially rigid, which means it doesn't shift like the rest of the oldest house. And before you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal interfering with my equipment, making it hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor. Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer.
The Astral Plane is already taking chunks out of this place, Emily. Let's not add to it.
I have a theory, but let's
So let me get this
listen to
straight.
everything else before we
The
go
Astral
into
Plane
it.
is bleeding into the Foundation.
Correct.
And that's happening because the nail is damaged.
I'd say it's a bit more than damaged, but yes, that is my understanding.
So, what's the connection between the nail and the Astral Plane?
It's a good question. See, I always pictured objects of power as strings between our plane and the astral. If the nail has a similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think of it like plumbing. Now that the nail is busted, sewage is gushing everywhere.
Not the prettiest metaphor.
I should get back out there.
I should get back out there.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself.
I wonder if one of the cards I'm missing requires the other skill. So my theory is that just in the warehouse somewhere. That's gonna be annoying to try to find it. My theory is that Emily showed up here. We had that one note that mentioned that there's some like wacky stuff going on with the time potentially. Maybe Emily showed up here from a call from me in the future and is here in the past because of the future. Does that make sense? Not really, but we'll table that thought for a little bit. I also am wondering if the other two, like, no idea which one would be the tallest spot. I don't, maybe upper warehouse. Ah, it was upper warehouse. Okay. I don't even know if I really want to be up here. I was thinking I could, like, glide down, but that's not really gonna work, is it? Considering we need four keys, maybe we have no choice but to run through these locations again to eventually this was like nothing. I did not find a secret. I just went the same way we went before. Also didn't want to drop, did I? Oh, we might have to come through this with the other ability that we didn't pick earlier. Could potentially unlock stuff for us, maybe. Before I continue to look around, I might look up where these keys are. Just to see if I'm wasting my time or not, because this is a big area to try to look for stuff. It was that simple. I knew that Pope mentioned it. If you don't know, it's just the room that I couldn't get into at the bottom here. Pope mentioned the skeleton key, but I thought I would still need to find these. The only one I was missing was the one here.
This ID card was for an excavation engineer. Why did so many people abandon their cards down here?
Well, I kind of feel good about that then. Oh, is this... Okay. One! They gotta use this puzzle again. Can't imagine the number is gonna be good enough. There's probably something else that makes this easier. Is there a note down there, or was it just... It was just that.
From the layer of dust on this place, nobody swept here in years. Not even Ati. No way he'd stand for this.
I'd
There's an
imagine...
elevator, which I'm sure is super safe, in a space in each terminal for an ID card. Which card goes where?
I'd imagine what's on the desk is what matters. So I would assume that would be security. Because there's guns on the table. Like research. Some of these I'm probably gonna have to switch around. That could be research. Let me see what has the most obvious solutions. Engineer. Cartography. Although that seems obviously... Well, that's more cartography. That's like... Don't touch it! That's like they're building a CSGO map. That paper specify anything? Can't shoot in here. I can't read it also. Photo mode activate. I can't read it also.
It worked. Now I just have to get on a rickety elevator that goes who knows how far down.
So, like, I mean, obviously, more or less a simple enough puzzle. I just don't know why this one was research and the other one was the...
A physicist would probably have instruments or something. For physics.
I guess the computer would be the equipment for physics. Like, it's not a big deal, it's just the one that I had to kind of guess and clearly didn't guess right on. Basement lab. Here I go. Underground. Let's see what's going on. Underground.
Dust. Still, this lab's way tinier than any of Darling's.
That looks like combat might happen. Let's say might happen. This looks like combat will happen. That's just a picture of the brain. Sees acceleration, some kind of pipe. It's a long animation, and I don't know why I did it. I only did it because I saw it.
Why would they need such a heavy door down here?
Oh. Gibbs? He's got laser vision. I miss all my shots. Oh, I'm dying. Where'd you go, Gibbs? Get gibbed on. Okay, I didn't expect a boss fight. Obviously, expected the combat. Made a mess of the place.
This looks like the nail, only mini.
Mini nail. Final? To Dr. Theodore Ash Jr. As Director of the Federal Bureau of Control and chosen representative liaison benefactor. I just realized I kind of was going to make a joke about it, that he's talking like that. The three different things. Maybe because Northmore is a little unsure of how to process the board's information. He's kind of talking like them. One of the notes had something similar. Representative, liaison, benefactor of the greater authority of the board, I demand you immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Power members' memos issued broadly to Foundation staff called for swift resignment of all personnel into the upper levels of the House. All staff complied except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the board itself. This is their house and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this and send my final warning. The board and director Ash chose me as successor of the office. The board and director Ash chose me as successor of the office. No amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension, better than the board. Permit me to assure you that this is not possible. Sincerely, Northmore.
A document? Is this in some kind of code? I can't read a word of it. I should take this back to Emily and tell her I got into Ash's secret lab.
Thought we'd get more, from this lab, but I guess a boss fight is something. Time to leave. I guess I am glad I looked up that last key, because I really would have not thought it would have been in there. Which is dumb. I probably, if I had looked or paid enough attention, I probably could have seen that that was the key that was on the floor. I kind of just assumed it was a normal file. But again, cool that I got all the keys I was able to get, because that meant I didn't have to actually explore too much.
If it isn't my favorite director.
I found Ash's secret lab.
Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details.
Well, there was another cave. The walls were covered in paintings of eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kinda smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ash was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ash had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? So it looks like a transcribed conversation between Ash and someone named F.
Maybe he just got an F on his
Oh, this
test.
is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation, Emily?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse.
3 ability points.
Don't be a stranger.
Well, we've got that out of the way. And I can get my heavies done. Sees large enemies when their health is low. How often will I use that? Probably not very. But we have the option. Isn't that the most important part? So what's the weird it looks like they're... Oh, it's all the way up there? Wonder if that's a quick way down or if that's just something else. Or maybe I can find it if I turn around. It's definitely all the way up there. I don't see anything I can move to get to that. Unless if it's in the main chamber and I find a way up around. I really don't see anything to even like hook on to for this. Alright, let's just forget about it. There is like a path that could lead to it. Alright, those geysers. They're gonna warn me about them again? I don't like them. Ugh. Gonna hope there's nothing in there. You know what I forgot about? Oh, that's a wall. Hope said something about feel free to call reinforcements. I wonder if I had to do that in the center room. Ow. You're my friend. At least you were supposed to be my friend. Okay, I was gonna say, I really should be able to just reach up there. Would hate to fall into a hole. Watch as the siege duration is like my favorite thing now. So I can have friends forever. Guy didn't even stand a chance. Really get lost, confused about where I'm located. Is that a minigun, dude? Really didn't want that blast, but whatever, we'll take it. You can be my friend now. See, I did the heavy one. Where am I? I'm like kind of stuck on this. So I have to use the fracture for that. Barely see smokes. Making things difficult. Should I have been allowed to get in here? That looked like almost one that was supposed to be a blockage, but somehow I weaseled in. Can't get that chest though. That's just not allowed. That's a big room. It sure is a fractured cavern. The light source up there is really killing me. That's where I came in from.
This area looks newer. Is it from the upper floors?
What a silly lad coming through that. So yeah, over here it did look like we were in the, what was it called? I don't remember the name of it. Fire break. I'm sure it would have said fire break once we reached that room. Nothing for me to read. Am I missing these readables? Maybe I'm too tired to find them.
There's something behind that his barrier.
Isn't there always? I see you. There's a weird noise. Is that one of those cats? What do I do with you? Huh. That's definitely more than nothing. But I don't know what to make of it. So it might be something that I look into after I've done everything else, similar to the furnace thing. Oh, that was the ground. Okay. This one will open for us. Shift account, part 1. To whoever finds this, I'm containment process designer Gene Gibbs. I killed you, and I'm writing this to document the largest building shift to ever occur. Here are the facts. A considerably large section of the containment sector, including the processes and protocols offices, our research facilities, and a fair chunk of the fire break, has been yanked down to a chasm that reaches far beyond below lobby level. So that's what happened here? I think? It was a violent shift, and I regret to report several casualties. Injuries were sustained by all, but many of us, myself included, are still mobile. We've set up a base camp and started triaging their little supplies. We explored our surroundings and found caverns of all things. Maybe we're in some kind of cave threshold like the quarry? Wherever we are, we're not the first. There were some rusty power cores, old lights, signs, infrastructure. What was this area used for? Why did they seal it off? Why have we never heard of it? More importantly, how are we going to get out? So this was just an area that ended up accidentally down here. That's good. Kivin? Kivin. A series of reverberating sounds observed in downtown Kiev with no clear point of origin. The event was witnessed by the city's general public. Mental and physical symptoms were reported, including aphasia, sleep paralysis, and excess in the reported individuals. Due to a brief nature of the event, overseas bureau agents were not able to respond while it was active. Immediately upon arrival, agents collected audio recordings taken by local witnesses. All bureau monitoring stations located at global junctions of acoustic amplifications were directed to monitor any auditory events of similar pitch, wavelength, and duration in an effort to trace echoes of epicenters. In the following weeks, similar cases were reported from both various amateur sources and bureau stations in major cities across the globe. Subsequent events diminished in volume and frequency per each occurrence. The event is believed to be generated by planar friction, though this is not confirmed. I don't know what that's about. Didn't realize I couldn't actually go in here before. Oh, there's a guy I can talk to. Was this the way I went in? It was, right? There's a friend I can count on, though.
Director Faden here. I need a ranger dispatched to my position.
We're in this together.
Where did you come from? So I wonder if there are stations around the warehouse now. After talking to Emily. Should I be focusing on this? No, but... Is it just like someone's cell block? Hello, lady. 50-foot woman. This is weird. What's my friend doing? He's okay. Full miss. Kind of okay with just letting him do this. I'm sure he'll be fine. Unless if like big enemies show up. I mean, his health seems fine. Ow. Help me out. Mild assistance would be nice. These are some wacky looking offices. I guess this is wacky because of the shift that happened, right? This whole area does not have the infrastructure to not shift. So all these offices are just weirdly set up, and there's a hidden little prison cell for some reason. Man, look at all of this stuff that's over here that I can't quite pick up all of. Do I care? How much do I care? Let me get rid of all of these. What is that? Source gain from melee. No. Source gain from melee hits. Oh, thank you. I don't want any of these. Accuracy. Ammo recovery after taking launch damage. That was taking launch damage, right? Not giving any. That seems weird. I mean, I had to try to do a double take because I just didn't quite get that. Like, that would just be the floaty enemies, right? Man, look at him teleport.
You're listening to America Overnight, now in its 29th year. Or is it?
Is it?
It is, don't worry.
Oh, I was scared.
Tonight, we're discussing thrift store oddities and one-of-a-kind finds. Peggy's on the line from Biloxi. She and her husband found a beautiful Himalayan salt lamp at a garage sale. Tell us about it, Peggy.
I'd heard of salt lamps, you know, those glowy rocks you plug in. They're supposed to release negative ions. Clear the air? I got one, only $4, and I put it in our living room. I thought it would look nice there. It gives the whole room this lovely orange glow.
Now, this is usually when the call takes a turn.
It's my husband. When he's in the living room, he won't take his eyes off the lamp. He's obsessed with it. If I turn it off, he gets so upset. He says it needs to stay on no matter what. Last night, I woke up at 3 a.m. He wasn't in bed. I found him in the living room, staring at the lamp. He was smiling. His eyes were open, but I thought he might be sleepwalking, so I shook him. He just kept smiling at the light. Then, he started to speak. He said, every time a reflection reflects itself, it gets a little greener.
I've read that.
Then he turned to me. He was still smiling, eyes open. My husband's eyes are brown, almost black. But the eyes of the man in the living room last night, his eyes were green.
Sounds just like Decatur. Get everything you can out of her, then call HQ. Peggy, I'm so sorry to cut you off there, but we need to go to commercial. I'd like you to stay on the line, though. My producer, Karen, needs a little more information. Okay?
Okay.
America Overnight. We'll be right back.
They got a hit. I got confused for a minute because it like was really low, that talking, but yeah, neat. Wonder what my friend here is thinking about that. Wonder if he has any opinions. Wondering why I'm just breaking through all this glass. There are so many rooms. Thought that light was something. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm missing a room. Probably isn't worth doing this. Let me up. At this point, I'm just breaking glass for the fun of it. Get out of my way, friend. Can I just take the ceiling down? Let's go. How did you end up in here? He's an anomaly. We gotta take him down. I broke that with so much force, water got on my screen. Oh, is this where I'm supposed to go? Spent so much time messing around. Let me stop busting. Aha! Just a storage room that's back here. It was worth it just for that. Is the lie I tell myself. Well, it's a hidden room, so we got ability points out of it, so it is worth it. God, I really fell down. I'm gonna say we're good. Probably lost my friend somewhere. Oh, there he is.
Someone call a plumber.
Glad no one was around to hear that.
It would have been funny if my friend was here. Oh, enemies are here. Computer. That's not it. Dear House of Representatives, my husband, Francis, read an article before he died about how the universe was really just a computer program. He believed it. I thought it sounded silly, but now I think he was right. Francis was hit by a car a few months ago, a drunk driver. I don't think it was supposed to happen. My neighbor's son, Jeremy, broke one of our windows with a football a week before Francis died. Francis yelled at Jeremy for it. He was a bit harsh. This is important because I see Jeremy on his computer through the living room window. He's on it all the time. His mother says he is a computer whiz. I think Jeremy is operating the computer program and he changed the universe so that driver would hit Francis. He did it to get back at Francis for yelling at him. Is there a way to change the computer and make Francis come back? Have some money if it's expensive. I don't know how these things work. I don't care if Jeremy gets in trouble or not. I just want Francis to come home. Francis and I were very happy together. I can feel him not being here, and I know it's not right. Sincerely, Stephanie Miller. That kind of took a turn for the sad. It was a little silly. But yeah, it sounds like just hoping for anything to get her husband back. This was really funny to... I don't care about maintenance. Just turn a corner and oops. Toilet issues.